Stormwood and Associates is a production of the Nerd and Tie Podcast Network. For more podcasts from actual play to true crime to witchcraft, go to nerdandtie.com or join our community on Discord by finding an invite at nerdandtie.com/discord. Over 100 years ago, the dark wizard Hollowell prophesied his return, but Sheriff Aesop Stormwood swore his descendants would stop him. He created Stormwood and Associates with the sole purpose of defeating Hollowell in the future. It failed. Now the young Raz Stormwood and her friends have been framed for a crime they didn't commit, and they've escaped to the Morris Halata Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive operating on the edge of society. If you have a problem, they can solve it. But don't get in their way, or else you might get caught in the eye of the storm. Stormwood and Associates stars Gen Proc as Raz Stormwood, Nick Izumi as Bill Carpathia, Kyle Johnson as Tristan Babbitt, and Trey Dorn as NK and Kel O'Reilly. Previously on Stormwood and Associates. So the Stormwood team got hired by this former journalist who had now started running a hat store because he was getting threats from a bunch of former professional spellfighters who he had exposed in an expose on doping just years before. And by doping, we mean taking Adderall. It's problematic. Anyways, after some weird encounters where the team stuck one of the spellfighters on a plane to Russia, and the rest of the spellfighters showed up and attacked at the apartment, which the team lost and ran away, but then regrouped at the Stormwood clubhouse and put their client in the safe room, and then took on the spellfighters a second time, where the team did much better, and they've now defeated the spellfighters. But having done so, now they have a bunch of questions, including for their client, mostly because Kel's being incredibly paranoid and suspicious about this entire situation. So, okay, I can't go back to the panic room. We need to ask some questions of our client. I'll go. Okay. He looks like he's full of blood. Do not eat the client! I can't eat the client. I can't eat the frozen orc lady. I can't eat these guys on the ground because I will kill them if I try to feed off of them. And I don't want to do that because you guys would get really pissed if I started killing people. Like, I have to work with these people, and they don't want me killing people. They don't want me taking people's blood, like, on the street, and that's fine. I can live within these limitations.
Honey,
but look, the whole
how
promise.
many blood fridges do you have?
What? Not as many as I did before you just handed them over. You were being ransomed. I had it under control.
You did not have that under control.
You did not have that under control.
No one thinks you had that under control.
Okay, Mara.
Someone go get
some.
Do
Bill,
you want me to hang out here so I make sure no one gets eaten or
Bill,
killed?
Yeah,
or...
Bill, make sure that Mara doesn't eat any of these people.
You got it.
Yeah, because, like, I've got to stay out here because this is the only place I can exist. But I can't stop her because... And I just wave... Kel just waves his hand right through Mara, and, like, it just passes right through her. Because I don't exist. Okay.
You exist, just not corporeally.
I appreciate that, Bill. You're a good friend.
Thank you.
Also, Bill, make sure that Izo doesn't kill people.
Izo, for the love of God.
Okay, let's...
Let's go talk to the client.
Yeah. Okay. NK and Raz go back to the safe room.
Beep boop 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 beep.
I'll actually put in like the door sound for that, but I don't care.
As the door opens, you see him quick put his phone in his pocket.
Good thing that this room has got a Faraday cage around it. I'm just gonna, it's apparently raining.
It is thunderstorming where I am.
It was thunderstorming like an hour before we played. It's probably the same system. All right. Actually, no, I'll say that it's not a Faraday cage. I'll say that has to be turned on.
It can be. It can be.
Which would you prefer, Kyle?
I don't care.
Okay. Because in theory, yeah, this place should be RF shielded.
Yeah,
this
that's
room.
fine.
Technically, it's not when the door is open. Actually, I should say that. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Dodd?
Yeah.
Mr. Dodds, can you tell me how long you've been threatened by... How long you've been getting threats?
Just recently, the brick.
But has the brick been the only threat you've gotten?
Yeah.
All right.
And may I ask, what made you leave journalism?
I just felt like getting out of it. I developed a passion for selling hats.
Just all of a sudden?
I mean, I've always loved hats.
So, is there anyone else you might have pissed off while writing?
Not that I'm aware of.
How much insurance do you have on that hat store?
The hat store?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I mean, a standard amount.
What's a standard amount? Insurance is really expensive in this town because of how often places get blown up.
It's just, I have insurance on it, enough to cover the property and expenses.
I sit down next to him on the bench. So you have to understand, there's a lot of things not adding up in what's happened today. Okay? And I'm concerned that there are variables we're missing in what we would do to help protect you. So, the timing of everything is strange. And I don't want to go too much into that, but needless to say, it feels like, based on the information we have right now, which also feels incomplete, that there's someone else guiding actions here, but we don't know who it is. So I guess my question for you, and this is, I guess, so you left journalism because you have a passion for hats, and I get that, that's fine. But why did you open a hat store specifically in Morris Halata?
It's a sunny town. People need hats.
There are larger markets where retail is safer to open. There's Beauregard's 20 minutes away, significantly lower crime. Like, double digits, significantly lower crime in Beauregard. And while I'm sure rent is slightly more expensive there on a business space, insurance is way lower.
And I'm sure foot traffic is probably way higher.
Yeah. And it's a similar climate to this town. Higher population by, significantly.
I said less murder attempts. Please, come on.
Be fun, Bill. Be fun. All right.
Ezo, I swear to God, I cannot hit you.
but I will stare at you sternly. Okay, so, like, I guess... Yeah, why? Why here? And why not 20 minutes
Why are you
away?
here? Why are you here? You set up business in this town. Why wouldn't I?
Well, we're here because there are very dangerous people looking for us, and we don't want them to find us.
Okay. I'm here, and unrelatedly, there are dangerous people looking for me, I guess.
But you didn't know that they were going to be after you. They've been quiet for 3 years.
Yeah.
So why here? I mean, and in any other town, if you were in Beauregard, if you were in Vegas, or just anywhere on the East Coast, literally any other town that I can think of, law enforcement would have been more than capable of fending these people off.
You would not have had to hire us.
You wouldn't have
Law
to go.
enforcement? No. You report a brick through your window to law enforcement, and they write it down, say that this happened, and then you go to your insurance and say that that you need them to put it to
Yeah,
pay
but
for
if
your
you
window.
point to law
They're not gonna
enforcement
do
and say
anything.
and show that it's Bodie Beeman, a disgraced former spellfighter who might be
Yeah,
violation
they put
federal
out an
magic
APB,
laws,
but-
they would call in the feds, and you'd have an entire FBI squadron to deal with a group like this.
Okay.
This is not a common thing for a bunch of high-level wizards to show up. If it were, the entire country would be a lawless mess. Right?
I
Like,
didn't.
the federal government is equipped to deal with this. You only come to people like us when you live in a place like Morris Halata because you can't go to them. Like, I'll tell you, like, I worked in legitimate agencies in normal cities. And while we had to deal with some big stuff, it wasn't this many high-level wizards showing up at our door. Like, one wizard like that is enough to call out the feds. So I guess I'm asking you because none of this is adding up.
Listen, I appreciate your help. Thank you so much. I can arrange payment. You said that everything's taken care of out there?
I said that we have currently disabled them.
Okay.
I'll tell you, situations like this can turn on a dime. That's why you're sitting back here still. Do you want me to turn the Wi-Fi on for you if we've got to be back here longer?
Whatever, I don't care.
Well, I don't know. You might want to, like, watch YouTube or something. We're still in negotiations out there. You'll probably be sitting back here for a little bit. Do you want me to turn on Wi-Fi for you? I mean, because I know that, like, cell signal doesn't make it out of this room.
Whatever, I'm fine. Whatever you think.
I mean, I saw you putting your phone away when we came in, and obviously, like, you want to check email or something. But, you know, obviously, I mean, I'm assuming you're concerned about your business. You've been away for an entire day. I'll turn on the Wi-Fi for you. All right, so we're gonna go back out into the to go back to talking to these wizards and make sure that, like, because if they come to, the whole battle could start up again, and you would just be, well, if we left this door open, you'd be screwed, because they really want to incinerate you.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, that sand stuff that Brenna lady does, that will kick you in the teeth. Oh my god. Oh, you do not want to get hit by that.
Nope.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, Yeah, I got it like right in the. I'm just looking. I just like okay, like brushes. Like there's sand in my hair. Okay. So when I get out there, I'll tell Kel to turn the Wi-Fi on, and he will do that for you. Okay.
Okay.
Just so you have something to look at. All right. We're gonna go back out there. And I go back out there.
Yep.
We'll close the door. Okay. Disabling interior release. Beep, boop, 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 boop. So he can't walk out of there. Cal? Let's walk back out into the main room. Hey, yeah, no, what? Yeah. It's... Sometimes I forget that I have to be both halves of that conversation. Yeah, so what's going on? So can you turn the Wi-Fi back on, but monitor all traffic that goes through our access point? Technically, I don't even have to hack to do that. I can just use Wireshark, a standard program that exists in every universe as far as I know. Yeah, so turn on the Wi-Fi and monitor anything he does on the internet through our access point. That sure does sound like a reasonable thing if any higher power would have to say absolutely would work without any real roles or challenges. Yeah, it sure does sound like that would work.
Sounds fine to me.
Stare at the camera. Okay. I mean, that's just... I have a hunch. It might turn out to be nothing, but...
Yeah, there's... Something seems really off. But as usual, can't put my finger on it.
Okay, we got couches. We got these people on the floor. Let's get them off the floor.
Okay.
We start dragging people onto couches.
Yeah.
Couches. Okay. Brenna, I'm sorry. We're not going to unfreeze you immediately just because we're a little afraid that you might try to kill us again. But
That's fair.
Also,
to be fair,
quick
I'd like the
question.
fighting to be over, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know Mara's licking her lips. Just ignore that. She's fine.
but quick question. How did you guys find out he was here?
I mean, that's just like you can find out.
Okay then.
Like through the internet, or...
Yeah, internet, you can find out, oh, this journalist retired to, open up this store.
So I gotta tell you, like... I feel like you guys have been pawns. It's someone else's plan. You know?
Or we, the players, are overthinking a simple plot that the GM gave us.
I feel like the GM might have thrown a flag and told us some piece of information that wouldn't have made this seem so suspicious. It's very suspicious. I am very suspecting. And if he wasn't planning something, maybe it'll become something. You don't know.
I don't.
We have more than one GM in this game who can pick up a thread that didn't mean to exist. if I'm wrong. Kyle, are we crawling up our own assholes for nothing?
We're doing fine.
Okay.
Delightfully ambiguous.
That's fine. For all we know, we've inspired Kyle to come up with more story.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so... Like, so you guys just looked him up on the internet, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you found him on your own. But I mean, obviously anybody who knew you would know that the moment you were capable of focusing and doing something, you'd be going after him, right?
Sure, I guess.
Okay. Kel, can you, like, look up more information on this Anthony Dodds guy? I did a cursory search when we first got hired to, like, verify his story that he wrote the article about these people. Yeah, I mean, I can try to find something. I don't know if I'll find anything more than you did. And I guess Kel's gonna try to research to see if there's anything that, like, suspicious about Anthony Dodds, like about, like, why he left journalism. Like, was there a scandal that we didn't find, or like we didn't look for it? So was there, like, is there something obvious that we didn't go looking for when we first got hired?
All right, let's see. So you search back, you see a bunch of his articles that he wrote. You see that he wrote an article saying that he was retiring and was going to be opening up a hat store. You see a thing that says he's been contracted to write a memoir. Nothing super sus.
He's been contracted to write a memoir? Like his own memoir, or ghostwrite someone else?
His own.
His own?
Yeah.
All right. Is that a book that's actually been written and published?
No, not yet.
And he said that as part of his retirement articles, or separately?
That's just a separate thing. Just like a small, tiny press release.
All right. Has he done anything on the internet while in the safe room?
No, he's not using the internet now.
Okay. Just thought I would check. Has his phone connected to our Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
So, Kel is going to, using the network connection into his phone, back data trace his connection and insert a small rootkit into the memory. Using this technological solution, insert a rootkit into his phone and decrypt using rainbow tables and a standard hash cipher the data on his phone to see if there's any suspicious looking applications, data, notes, anything like that in his system, in his phone. Does that work?
Sure.
I like it.
It's a voted skill. Kel's just being... Does Kel find anything interesting in the phone?
I mean, so like you can see what he's doing?
Yeah, we can. I can see what he's doing, and I can access the information on his phone.
He's writing his memoir, and it's suddenly gotten a whole lot more interesting.
Okay. So Kel's gonna, because he's attached to a computer and can enter the void, read the entirety of the memoir.
Yeah. Okay.
So for Kel, this may be days. For the rest of the world, moments. So it looks like the memoir was shit right up until the story about the harassment.
I mean, it wasn't shit, but you know, it suddenly there's a lot of cool stuff happening in it, and yeah, it seems like the kind of thing that would, you know, make this a lot more of an interesting book.
And does he identify any of us by name?
The Smiths, I guess.
But he mentions, like, is there any mention of, like, Kel?
No.
Because this Chinese met, but there is, like, a mention of, like, NK and Raz. Because we've been using our real first names.
He uses the surname Smith.
Yeah.
But he doesn't identify any of you.
But does he describe any of us in any way? Like our
No.
appearances at all? Because he's writing a book where we're, in theory, have become figures.
Yeah,
we're
you're-
his bodyguard.
You are like, it's only vaguely defined.
But does he even...
But you're this whole scheme attack stuff by the spellfighters is
So he's kind
in
of more
detail.
focusing on the spellfighters
Kel deletes the
Yes.
memoir.
than us.
Kel deletes the memoir.
Oh my gosh.
So guys, I went into his phone. He's been writing his memoir, and it was shit until oh look, he spiced it up with suddenly it became a much more exciting book that he's been writing. And because apparently running a haberdashery does not make page turners. What do you think happened?
Dude, you couldn't just pull a Fred Dukes and just lie?
And while he was still technically vague on us, guess who actually appears in the memoir?
that bastard.
You see, I was just making all of these threats about people not knowing about this place. I wasn't expecting... Do we have to kill him? I would like to eat him. I would like to eat the client. Can I eat the client?
I know how to finish him quickly.
I mean, look, normally I would be against eating the client. That's a strange thing, but technically if he had planned on publishing that and like suddenly like a bunch of like super powerful made like weirdo people like us showed up in a town right about the time that we ran from you know where, that would be very compromising for us if we allowed him to go.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Like, I don't like to be the bad guy. I don't like, in theory, we're the good guys, right? Like,
Can we just like bring him out here? It's annoying to go in there and
I also deleted his
course.
entire memoir off his phone, so if that was his only copy, he might
Can
be a
some-
little mad.
we can deal with it. Can someone go get him and bring him out here?
I would like to go get him.
You're not going to get it.
I won't eat him. I won't eat him. I swear to God, I won't eat him. But I'll
Okay.
do the, like, her eyes go blue and ears get pointy.
You-
I'm super fun. And, like, come on, guys. Like, he didn't see me looking like this when he came in before. And it's just, like, I just see his face when I open the door. I'm okay with that, oddly enough, as long as
yeah.
someone goes with her so she doesn't eat him. I'm not going to eat... I mean, I want to eat him, but, like, I get it. Like...
I'm coming with.
Yeah.
I'm coming with. It'll be all right.
Bill, if you come...
We'll
if
bring
you
him out
come...
here.
Bill, if you come with, I'm... And kid just points at Iso. I think you and I need to stay out here in case of him.
Oh, right.
Who started one of the cars? Don't drive the
Jesus,
Lumina
my-
out of here. Oh, God, who's stealing the Lumina?
What changed? Why is it because it's Monday?
My neighbors. What the heck?
Oh, my
What
God.
happened?
Wow.
Ugh.
Wow.
That was...
Holy crap. I was not like I heard them pull in and it was so quiet. And then like when they started it back up, it's just the loudest fucking thing. Holy shit.
No, Greta came to and was stealing the Lumina. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
God. Okay.
But
Okay.
one day
Mar-
I leave the window open because it's freaking hot in here.
Yeah. It's 77 degrees in the room I'm in.
Weirdly comfortable here.
So, all right, so Mara's gonna go back to the panic room.
He is really panickedly looking through his phone and binging information about how to recover deleted data.
Hi.
He uses Bing.
Mara opens the door with her glowing blue eyes and long, weird pointed ears. Hi.
Hi.
And creepily smiles at him, showing pointy teeth.
Okay.
I would like you to come with me now.
Where?
Just with me.
He does.
I love how trusting he is.
Think about it. So all of the unconscious, so there are 3 unconscious wizards, just kind of seated on the couch, their heads tilted back. Some of them covered in blood based on what's happened. Brenna is standing there frozen. And Mara, with her weird vampire face, has now led him out into this room.
Hey, what up?
Hey, so we've been having a chat out here. These 3 have been a little quiet. But Brenna's been you've been super helpful, sweetie. I just say that. You've been great. You've been a real class act. So, Mara seats him down on the couch directly facing the couch with the 3 passed out ones on it. And then sits down next to him. Hi.
So, we realized that you retired and wanted to write your memoirs. And that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, no, obviously you were a former journalist who apparently had a career that was at least somewhat exciting. I happened to read it. I'm sorry. I'm a little nosy. I exist as a digital thought form, so, I gotta get my kicks where I can get it, right? Okay.
Aren't you the mayor of San Ricardo?
Funny story behind that, but no. It's, he doesn't sound anything like me, right? That guy? He doesn't sound anything like me.
He looks like you, but douchier.
I'm really mad at you, but, that actually, felt really complimentary.
That was a kind of a. I don't think you're gonna understand how much that meant to him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was okay. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I have some notes on the book. Of which look, here's the thing. We noticed that the book was kind of dragging until a certain chapter started where a group of the people you wrote about came to try to kill you, right? Right? That was a real exciting part of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do with my book?
Oh, I ate it.
I'd like it back.
Mara
please.
looks at him. I like eating things too. Honestly,
No,
Mara, that
no,
sounded
no,
more like
no.
a come on, so it's getting weird. It's getting weird the more you say stuff like that. You're making it weird and not in
Making it
a
lot
scary way.
weirder.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Anyways,
So about the memoir.
yeah, so there's information that we prefer not to exist in the world.
Yeah,
And-
we can't let you publish
Yeah,
some
no,
of that
that
information
that
that
can't
you've
be
written
published.
about.
And I'm gonna make sure that you never publish it. You write it again, it's gonna go poof. You put it in the cloud, definitely gone. I've crashed an entire Idaho server farm once for fun.
You get our protection, but in exchange, no one knows that we're around. No one.
Yeah, that's like a key thing. And unfortunately, you mentioned the existence of this organization in the book. And that's not cool. That's not cool, bro, at all. So
No.
we had the ixnay that. The good news is that I'm pretty sure that the good news is that if you play ball, we won't have to let Mara eat you. I guess, yeah, no, I'm saying it now too. Mara smiles, full fangs. So that's the upside. That if you're cooperative, we won't let the vampire eat you. Does that sound?
Vampire.
Yeah. What did you think the fangs were for, dude? Like, did you not think the glowing eyes were weird?
Yes, I did. But there's a lot of weird stuff.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of vampires in this town. Yeah, it's actually quite surprising the number of vampires you'll find. Like, you go to the mall. You ever go to the mall here in town? Like, there are literal vampires working at the mall.
I can't say that.
Pretty weird.
No, there's like actual vampires at the mall.
I love this town.
I'm sure they like to shop at Lids.
I mean, some of them might. Yeah,
Ugh.
no, like that one guy, that one vampire, like, I don't know. Like, there was that one
Actually-
vampire in the bucket hat. I wonder where he got that hat. Do you sell bucket hats? Because, like, I'm sure that vampire will buy more.
Yeah. Yeah, we could get you a whole new customer base.
Yeah, vampires like hats.
They need to keep the sun off them, I suppose.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
Like, let me tell you, like, wide-brimmed hats are very popular with vampires these days.
Yeah, so
Shockingly so.
never mention our existence to anybody, never publish it. And we will get you more customers and not feed you to the vampires. How's that sound?
It seems that I don't have much of a choice.
How much were you planning on making on that memoir? How much did you think you were going to make on that?
He names a number.
What is that number compared to our fee?
It's quite a bit more than the fee.
Well, I got good news, bad news. You're not going to see that amount of money. But I will refund your fee because it is true that we are about to kind of fuck you over a bit. So we'll refund your fee. Does that sound okay?
I suppose it has to be okay.
Yeah, so, all right. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to hook you up with some new customers. We've taken care of your little problem. And Kay pats pats Greta on the head. The passed out Greta. So, when did you arrange the Adderall for these folks?
A few months ago, I
Yeah.
convinced my acquaintances in the commission to use their influence to get them medicated.
Okay. So, Brenna, did you hear that?
I heard it.
That the only reason why you're able to focus now is because this asshole wanted... Wow, okay, no, wait, I'm just realizing you just set us up to murder these people.
Yeah, because you basically took a hit out on yourself and then hired us. Man.
And almost got us
Really?
killed in the process.
I'm really sort of
Really?
trying to figure out...
You were willing to have us murdered for your memoir.
So,
I
like,
was-
I'm getting more on the side of, like, maybe we should just, like, I'm getting more, like, on why, like, behind this group of people's, like, I'm getting on Brenna's wavelength, I think is what's happening here. Brenna, I like you. I'm just saying it. Like, I need to explain to you how to get Adderall out of teenagers, so, like, this doesn't become a problem again for you.
What?
But-
That's a bad thing to do.
What? No, teenagers need income. I'm not asking to, like, reinstate these people into professional spell fighting. You're operating without a license right now, Bill. They're not doing anything any more illegal than you do on a daily basis.
Stop.
The real problem here is that, like, I don't know. We're in such a weird moral gray area right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I'm kind of pissed at this guy that he tried to use us to, like, look at how much lightning we shot into that dude. Like, and
Yeah.
I was a direct participant. I'm not going to explain it to you new people about how that works, but I was providing the magic that
was very
this
cool.
one was doing. Okay? That was me. We're a team. We're brother, sister.
Rizzo
We're
almost
great.
killed
We're
someone.
siblings. We're a good team.
Yeah, no. But, like, yeah, Etho almost, like, straight up murdered. Like, we would have been complicit. And so
Yeah.
now I'm like, this guy, like, I don't know if... Look, I don't know. Sis, I usually rely on you to be my moral compass in these situations, but I'm kind of, like, okay if they kill him.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, you gotta tell me that's wrong, right? Like, to just, like, say, hey, hand her a gun. I feel like that's gotta be wrong, right? Like,
it's technically wrong.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
technically
mean, because we
wrong.
do have that whole armory. They're all untraceable. Yeah, I do gotta say, using magic is because you're doing, like, signature moves, Brenna. You gotta, like, if you're gonna kill somebody, you gotta, like, go outside of what your normal MO is.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go, like, if you hit me with sand. You hit it with sand. Like, that's... I don't know. I stopped paying attention to, like, the magic stuff, like, to the spell fighting when I was, like, 8. So I don't know these people. Like, I don't know who used what in what move there, okay? Yeah. It's... Spell fighting got kind of boring when I figured out it was rigged. You guys know, like, that, like, Bill, you know that the whole thing's fake, right? It's like wrestling.
I mean,
What? The whole thing is not.
Oh,
I
it is
rigged,
so
let's say.
fake.
It did not.
Okay, so you
think it
tell
was
me,
rigged.
that Lightning Man Stan in frickin' like 96, in the 96 Lightning Man Stan versus Scott Smith, right? Lightning Man Stan versus Scott Smith, 96.
Here you
That was
go.
not rigged. Scott Smith,
You've done it.
such a heel, right? So, like, he's been, like, doing this whole act, like, for like a year before that fight, right? And so, and I will tell you that clearly he had better magic chops than
Look,
Lightning Man Stan. But Lightning Man Stan comes in there with like a lightning bolt, and somehow, even though Thunderlord has been hitting Scott like in 8 battles, and Scott just shrugs that off. The Lightning Man Stan, who Thunderlord kicked his ass like 2 years prior, is suddenly enough. No, man, that is a fix. That is a fix.
Skill levels change. I don't know.
Skill levels change? I don't think so.
I'm not going to say there's not corruption in the league. It's possible that Scott Smith might have been bought to, take a dive.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is rigged. I'm telling you.
The whole thing is not rigged.
It is rigged. You're telling me that all you 5 suddenly got prescribed drugs that would help you out, and then suddenly, did someone in the league didn't know that was happening, and the only reason why you got cut is because it became a public relations scandal?
There was no sudden about it. We all had drugs.
Right, no, but they gave it to you and only you to juice you players. I don't know. Is Bill? Was the Bodhi guy, was he a face or a heel?
Yeah, he was a face.
Yeah, no. So
I cheered for him.
How about you, Brenna? Face or heel? What was your public persona? Were you the good guy or the bad guy?
Heel, obviously.
Yeah. All right. How often did you lose to a face? Who did you lose? Did you lose to Bodhi sometimes, or did you lose to some other guy who wasn't open?
I never took a dive. Okay.
I'm not saying you never took a. I'm not saying that you knew you were a pawn in the machinations of the league. But let me tell you, again, I stopped watching by the time you were competing. But you take a guy like that Bodhi guy, he's little, he looks scrappy, and then you're this big tough orc. That setup isn't meant to be this David Goliath story. No. And I will tell you, these promoters, the whole league is a scam. You might not have been aware that you were being scammed by the league, but you were being scammed. They set you up. And guess what? When you got caught, when the whole doping thing came out, I've read the article, when the whole doping thing came out, you're the one who got punished. The league was fine. League kept its federal license. You got scammed by the league. You were screwed by the league, who was setting you up. And the moment you became disposable, you were gone. I don't know. It sounds to me like if this guy wants to write a memoir, you should write it with him.
That's never going to happen.
No, but that story sells. And suddenly you expose the league like that? You become the celebrity. The story changes from you being this evil person to suddenly being the victim of the machinations of this high, powerful lobby that manages to extort federal magic licenses out of the federal government, something that hospitals need, but the league gets them, and suddenly you become the biggest celebrity in the country. You're on every talk show. You are getting book deals. You are getting money. Heck, all 5 of you. And you come as a united front, and you do it with this guy. You do it with this Anthony, the guy who exposed you. Suddenly, it's this big reconciliation piece. And you're all against, the evil league. And you become famous, you become rich, you become everybody's favorite. And that gets you movie appearances, that gets you TV shows, that gets you commentary gigs, that gets you all the money in the world. It rehabilitates your image immediately, and suddenly you're the darling of the country, instead of like a quote-unquote disgraced former spellfighter.
I suppose.
This
Something
is-
like that could happen.
Something like that is how you win. Like, you set your sights too small with the revenge. Like, yeah, this guy did a thing, right? You know, he wrote a paper. Yeah, he did his job. You were bad at cheating. You got caught. Shut up, NK. All right. He's never been your problem. Like, I mean, yeah, it sucks for you what he did, right? Like, it sucks a lot that he wrote an article that exposed you and ruined. But the real problem is that, like, you didn't make, someone else made the arrangements to get you those drugs, right? Someone else was the power behind it, manipulating the situation. And they got away scot-free while you got screwed. Someone else arranged for you to cheat, but only you got punished. And isn't the real injustice, isn't that some article got written, but that the people who caused you to fall got away with it? You trusted people. You trusted people to take care of you. And the moment you were in trouble, they pulled the rug out. And you were left for 3 years without medication required for you to do so much as concentrate and move on. You're mad at this journalist, but you shouldn't be. You're mad at him, but he's not your problem. They are. And Anthony, I know you're writing about this like dramatic story, but isn't this the better story? It builds on credibility you already have. It builds a story based on what you've already written and gets you on talk shows if you do it with them. It makes you all the money. And apparently you can use that to promote some hats. So, what do you think?
I guess I'd be willing to try it if you would.
Was that Anthony or was that Bretta?
That was definitely Anthony.
Okay.
I suppose we could do that.
And hell, you know, if it turns out great, you know, you might even get back in the ring. Because isn't the entire banning of the drugs because it's unfair that, like, one opponent has it and one doesn't?
That's the idea.
There has to be at least more than one magic user in the country who has ADHD who's been banned from fighting.
You know, there's just been a whole lot.
Like, isn't that a really ableist way to run a league?
Super ableist.
Well, what the problem was that weird pivot toward like the war on drugs. That just like they just keep cracking down on everything to make it look like they're actually accomplishing something. It's
Babbitt, do you
ridiculous.
want to, like, administer some medical aid to these poor unconscious people?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, let's all be friends. Or the
Never get
alternative is we let Mara eat Anthony Dodds here. I'm still kind of okay with that because again, he tried to arrange us to murder people.
Let's be friends. Let's be friends. Why not?
I'm disappointed.
We can unimmobilize Brenna.
all right, fine.
Oh, I've had an itch.
All right, so yeah, that's And again, if anybody mentions that we exist, remember Mara. We will send Mara for you.
Yep.
In the middle of the night. In the room you sleep in.
Right.
I'm really
Okay.
behind this plan. I really like this plan. It's a good plan. Like,
The
so feel free to screw up at any time because I get hungry.
the death wards activate on the others, and Brenna explains to her compatriots what's going on. And
We haven't had Kel talk our way out of a situation for a while. It felt appropriate.
is there anything else?
I mean, we.
Hey, Bill,
we
could
might...
you heal the door?
Yeah, let's see what
Somebody
I can
heal
do.
the door. Somebody heal the door.
And
Yeah,
I
let's
might.
give it a shot.
I kind of want all of their info so that if I need to, I can get a hold of them at a later date.
Sure. Yep. Okay, and then I guess escort them out back to their van.
Yep.
And as you approach the van, you see a bright yellow glow through the window, and the door slides open, and Bodie Beeman pokes his bearded head out and says, "Hey, so what did I miss? Freeze frame credits."
Oh, God. Okay, I'm hitting stop on the recorder. Stormwood & Associates is a production of Nerd and Tie. You can find more information at nerdandtie.com/Stormwood. You can also find us on social media at Nerd and Tie on Twitter, nerdandtie.tumblr.com, and facebook.com/nerdandtie. This podcast can be subscribed to on anywhere that major podcasts are found: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and quite a few other places, and anywhere that takes an RSS feed as well. To be continued. Hey, while you're still here, let me tell you about another podcast on the Nerd and Tie Network. And that's Let's Be Legendary. Let's Be Legendary, the Feywild West, is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play game. So, an actual play game like this one, but like, you know, in a system people actually use in the real world. Set in a homebrew Wild West steampunk world, the Feywild West follows two people discovering what it means to be in a relationship, all the while seeking revenge and learning the truth of their pasts. Let's Be Legendary podcast is an LGBTQ+ podcast with both main and minor characters, as well as players falling under the queer blanket. A heavy RP game with a focus on story and characters. And you can hear it every week here on the Nerd and Tie Network, and you can find all of their subscription information and links at nerdandtie.com/legendary.